Hello, my name is Chris Halstead, and I'm going to walk through the IDM Migration Tool. This allows us to migrate applications and entitlements from any IDM environment to any other IDM environment. So on-premises to SaaS, dedicated SaaS to shared SaaS, etc. So you can see here in this environment on the left-hand side, the left-hand tenant, I have a bunch of applications provisioned with entitlements, and on the right-hand side, there are none. So I'm going to launch the migration tool right here, and I'm going to log into tenant 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to export the applications and the entitlements out to a local file share. And then we can go ahead and import them in another step. So when we export it, we're doing the standard export bundle API call. So everything is, both from an export standpoint and an import standpoint, it's all using the built-in APIs in IDM. I've written a entitlement management flow that saves the entitlements out to XML file, and then they're imported from that XML file into the target IDM environment. So I'm going to choose here to export these applications, and we'll go ahead and create a folder to place these exported bundles into. You'll notice when we do this, we get the zip files that are coming from the API, as well as the XML files that are containing the entitlements. And I'll open that up once we do that here in a second and show you what that looks like. This will allow us to do really multiple Active Directory domains. The only really prerequisite is making sure that the same Active Directory domains are synced or set up on both sides, on both the target and the destination side. So you can see here the applications and the entitlements are being generated and exported out. Once this completes, I'll open up one of the entitlement files to show you what that looks like. So we can see here in the XML that basically we show the catalog ID, if it's a group or a user, the username or the UPN, the DN or the UPN, and then that data is used to ingest when we basically import or ingest the application on the target side. This will be used to copy all of these entitlements over. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and log off of this environment, and we'll log into our other IDM environment here. This is the environment that has no catalog entries right now, so it's completely empty. Again, all the login process, everything is being done via the native IDM API. The only piece that isn't being done via API is the entitlements piece which I wrote. So we're going to choose that same export folder. We're going to refresh and view all of the bundles that are available. And you can see that matches up directly with what we see in the file system. We'll select them all, and then we'll choose to import them. During this import process, a few things are happening. So it's not only making the standard API call to import the application from the zip file, which happens actually fairly quickly, but it's also enumerating through those entitlements. So what it's doing is it's looking at each of those entitlements, and it's doing a search within IDM to find the actual ID, the internal ID of that user or that group, so that it can be entitled to the application. Once it searches for one user or one group, that gets stored in a dictionary so that faster lookups happen, each subsequent time. But that very first time that it needs to look up a user or a group, it's doing it via the IDM API, and then basically setting those entitlements onto the applications. So now this is completed, we can jump back over to our tenant and see what happened. So make sure that our applications have imported in, and we'll make sure that our entitlements exist. So you can see all of the applications have been migrated over from tenant A to tenant B. You can see the entitlements have come over as well. We can actually check and see that they match, and they do. So this is a great way for users that are looking to move from on-premises to SaaS, as I mentioned, or really in any combination of IDM. Initially, initially just apps and entitlements, but really anything that's contained within IDM we could add as part of this migration tool. So definitely looking forward to feedback on this and features that we may be able to add to it going forward. Thank you.